This video sponsored by Meeple Movers. No minimum order, no subscriptions. Free shipping on every item, every day. At meeplemovers.com.
Hello and welcome to Brian's Got Game. I'm Brian. Today I've got a game called Doppelt So Clever, or Twice as Clever. Twice as Clever is a 1-to-4 player roll and write game by Wolfgang Warsch and published by Stronghold Games. This is a follow-up to Ganz Schön Clever, or That's Pretty Clever, which was nominated for the same for the kennerspiel in 2018. Same designer, same game, same mechanics, but new scoring. In this game, one player is an active player and they roll the dice and then they choose one. Then they do that 3 times and all of the dice that are lower get moved to the box, and then other people choose dice from there to play. This continues for a predetermined number of rounds based on the number of players, and then you calculate your score. So let's check it out, and I'll show you how to roll and select dice, how the different areas score, and how to trigger some cool combos in Twice as Clever. You set up, give each player one of these paper boards, that's their board from the game, then get the bottom of the box here, it's got this insert with a silver platter on it, put that out, and then get the 6 dice in the game, put them there. So normally each player would have one of these like that, but I'm only going to show one of these, so I can play this game as many times as I can. So, and then each player is also going to need a pen. So, to begin, you roll all of your dice. So, I roll a 1, a 2, a 3, and then a 5, a couple 2s. So then, you're going to choose one of these to use. I'm going to choose this pink 2. So, this is the pink section. So in the pink section, you just write the number that you got. So if it was a 6, you write a 6. If it's a 2, you write a 2. So I got a 2, so I'm going to write a 2 right there. That means I get 2 points at the end of the game. Simple. So then the one that I used goes right there. And then all of the dice that I have that were numbered less than that, like this 1, go to the platter. So then I take all my dice and roll again. Okay, 5, 4, 1, 2. So I'm going to take this yellow 1. Goes there. So the yellow, this section, means that the first time I roll a number, I find a 1 on here, and then I circle it. I get to do the one of my choice. There's a couple 2s. There's only 1 1 and 1 6, but the rest of them have 2 iterations. But so I circle the 1, and then the next time I get a 1, I can circle the other one, or I can put an X on it. And when I put an X on it, I get points up here, but when I circle it, I can get these bonuses. I'll explain more about those in a little bit. So then 1 was the lowest, so I don't move anything to the platter. Then I roll the rest of my dice, and then I have that. So I'm going to take this green 5 and put it in here. So it's kind of hard to see probably, but on here, this one says times 2, that one says times 2, times 2, times 1, times 3, times 3, and so what you do is you take the value, since it's 5, times 2 is 10. So you write 10 right there. And then so what this is it's going to be 10 minus the next green that I take, times 2. And then that's how many points I get. So I'm going to want a big one, then a small one, and then a big one, then a small one, and so on. So I pick that one, and then all of the dice that I didn't use then go to the platter. So then the other player, we're playing a 2-player game, gets to look at this and choose which one they want. So they can take this, that, or that, and let's say that they take this gray one, the silver gray one. So when you take a silver gray one, that's this one, whoops, that's this section, and you get to choose what number. So you get to choose what color. So this is a number 5. So those are the 5s, and then you would take the one that you want, let's say the blue one, and you would put an X there. And then I'll explain a little bit more. There's a couple more rules with that later. But when you take it from the platter, you just put an X. And the other player would do that, not me. I just did it as an example. So then the other player would roll and go through their actions, and then I would choose from the platter. So then we're going to skip back to my turn. I'm going to roll again, and then I continue picking. So on round 1, I would get this action, so I can put a circle there, and then I can use that from now on. I only get one try, I only get one time to use it, and when I use it, I put an X over it. So this one means that I get 1 reroll. So on my turn, it's past round 1, it's now round 2, so I'm going to roll. No, actually, I also have this +1 now, since it's round 2. But now I roll, and let's say that I really don't like my choices, so I'm going to use my power and roll again. So I like this better. So I'm going to take this yellow 2, circle that 2. Now I get this power up. So right here, there are these arrows right there, pointing there, and the points, since I connected all the ones in that line, I get this power up. So that's another reroll. So now I can do that again later. So you can use these to build up combos. There's some other powers. So I took that 2, so the blue one goes away. Then I roll again, and I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this green. No, this pink 6. So I get to put. I don't know. Put a 6 there, So then I would remove everything except for a 6. So I'm going to put those over there. But I'm going to use this other power. So this one's the +1. So this +1 means that I get to use one more die at the end of this round. Okay. So I'm going to roll, do my last roll, and I rolled a 5. So that was kind of unfortunate. I have another reroll, so I'm going to do that and roll again. 4. Still not very good, but it's better than I had before. So I get another reroll because of that. And then 10 minus 8 is 2. So I get 2 points there. So then I use my +1, so now I get to use another one of these dice. So I could put the 1 in, this 5, this 2, this 1. So I'm going to use this wild white and put it in for here. No, I'm going to use this 5 silver and then put the green 5 in. There. So kind of what I'm doing is for the yellow one, what you're doing is you're drawing the circles, and then once you get the X, you count up how many X's you have at the end of the game. So if you have 1 X, you get 3, 2 X, you get 10, and it's exponential: 21, 36, 55, 75, 96, 118, 141, and 165 for every X you have. So if I pulled another 1, I could put an X there. And then once you build these circles, so let's say I got the circle 2, I would get one of these, pull a die back, so that means I would take 1 extra. I'll talk about that in a little bit. That's that power. Now, the blue one is kind of weird. So the blue one, that's a perfect example. So this is the optimal roll for the first time. I rolled a 12. So what you do is you add the, right here it says add the blue die and the white die, and then you write it here. So I rolled a 12. That was an optimal roll. So that's 12 right there. So you don't get 12 points though. I get 1 point because it's the first time that I put it. Now the thing is that the next one that I do, so later on I roll, that's a 7. So maybe I would pass on that and then keep going until I get a higher roll. Let's say I got this 10. So then I'd write 10 in. The thing is that it has to be equal to or less than. So I could roll again and I could put this 9 in. That's a P. I'm upside down. That's a 9. So you keep going, but each time you do it, it has to be lower than. So I rolled this 10, and I can't put it. I can't put a 10 in here, so I can't choose to do that action because it's too high. Now right here, I put this here, and that's the yellow question mark. So that means that I can choose any number and put it in the yellow section. So I'm going to put that there. Now I did a chain. Now I have that one, and that's a gray question mark. So now I can choose anything gray. So I'm going to do that one. Now later, if I take a gray 5, that can be there, and then I've got a green one, so then I can choose anything I want for green. So then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Bonuses, I chose 6, I want a high number. And then you just keep going. Now some other things are, these black ones are the power-ups that you get when you fill it up. So that one means I got the 1 extra at the end, I got to choose. This one means, let's say I roll and this one's out, I choose one, and then I can put an X there to bring this back, and then roll it with all the other dice, and then I can choose to take it. Now, when you take a high silver, so I'm going to take the silver die. I get to keep this one, but all of these were lower, so they're removed. Now I also get to X them out on here. So I removed a blue 4, and I removed a yellow 1, and a white 2. So the white 2 means I get to choose a 2. I'm going to go with the blue one. So then this one scores. I get points here. So I filled all of that, so I'm going to get that bonus. Which I already did. This one scores. By this one, I have 2 things in there. So 1, 2, that means I get 4 points. This one I have 3, so I get 7. So that's 11, and then I have 1 there, that's 2, and another one there, that's 4. So that's 15 points so far. And then the more I get, the more points I get. So if I filled this whole section up, I'd get 22 points for just the blue section, the blue line there. That one gets points for how far you go, so the farther on I get. This one you just score all the things you have up there, so that's a 1. If I roll a 4 there, 4, 12 minus 4 is 8. And then right now I'm scoring 10 points, and this one you just add, so that one's 2 and 6. So the last thing is the fox. So if I circled these 3, I have a fox here, and then if you fill up all the 3s, you get a fox there, and then if you get all the power-ups there, and they're in the other sections too. If you get a fox, that means that you get to score the lowest one that you have. So right now this one's my lowest scoring. Now this one, here, let's max this real quick. This one is my lowest. I only have 8 points for this section. So I would score 8 points for each fox I have. So right now I have 2 foxes, so I would get 16 points for my fox section when you score, which is on the back. So I would get 16 there. So then, at the end of the game, you add up all of the points you have for each section, and then the person with the most points wins. That's how to play Doppelt So Clever. Okay, got my dad here for a parent's opinion. So Dad, what do you think of Doppelt So Clever?
I thought that twice as clever was twice as clever. No, just kidding. It's a very good roll and write. Feels very much like its older brother. That's pretty clever. I think the only real difference is the different ways to score.
Yeah, so we were talking about this. It's the same thing. You rolled your dice, and then you pick one and take all the lower ones and move them away, and that's the selection process.
Yep. Yeah, it's super easy. I mean, has a German name, obviously, so it's very, it's just a roll and write, very thinky, abstract, no real theme to it.
Yeah.
Although there's probably not a whole lot of theme you could put on a dice game. Or a roll and write, I mean.
Yeah. There you can. And this one, kind of, you got the fox.
The fox theme?
The fox theme.
Oh, because they're clever and
Yeah.
smart. Clever as a fox.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that before.
All right. Yeah, I'm not very good at it.
Well, this one definitely. So there is an app. Well, at least there is an app for the first one.
Okay.
And you could probably play against the AI like a lot quicker than playing a sit down and play with people, because it's kind of AP prone a little bit, because you're staring at which dice do I take, what are all the possibilities and permutations.
Yeah.
So I mean, it feels very much like the other one, but maybe they'll have an app for this one too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or it might be the same app. Like I said, it's the same game. You just score the zones different.
So it's just a different piece of paper.
Yep.
All right. So artwork, it's more of like a graphic design on the layout. More
Yeah,
than
it's
anything.
exactly the same. There's some iconography that you kind of got to pick up on.
Like the different actions,
Yep.
which are cool. So the strategy in this is really making them bounce off. Like in this game, it's the yellow section, where you can get these extra bonuses that bounce around.
Yeah, you really want to chain together and the different actions, because you can do stuff for free, right? Like, so if you take a die, that you could do one action. But if you can take one that then starts comboing off of the different zones, then that's really the being the clever part, is
Yeah.
being able to get more actions than your neighbor.
Yeah. So that's really the big part of the game. And then I thought that it was over fast. I also thought about that but in the original game.
Yeah, well, we mostly played 2-player
Yeah.
for this one.
But still, it'd be shorter in a bigger play with more players. There's less
Unless
rounds.
you got people thinking,
Okay.
spending more time
But
thinking.
still, like, you're not doing a whole lot. You get to roll the dice 6 times.
Yeah, but so there might be some downtime, but everybody gets to play on every turn, right? So like there's some on the silver platter that you get to pick. So
Yeah.
that is a plus, I think, because then you're not just kind of sitting, waiting, checking your phone till it's your turn again.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. You get to do something every turn.
Yeah, that is cool. So overall, I had a lot of fun playing this game. We played it a couple times, and we played it and like, all right, I want to do that again. And we're gonna fix my mistake of last time.
Yeah, and we haven't played it solo. I'm not a big solo gamer.
I'm not either.
You're not either, but you can do it. We did kind of compare our score to what in the solo at the end of the rules. It kind of gives you a scale of, how clever you are. We did okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Doppelt. Doppelt So Clever. Twice as clever. Thank you for watching Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game. Visit our webpage, briansgotgame.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian, and this is my dad, and I'll see you next time.